you see that? Another big one. Dang it. I sure hope that's on video. That's a big fish. Gotta power him out of these weeds. Got 50-pound power on him. Pound test on you. I'm just kind of pulling in. Toad bite. Topwater, baby. Nice fish. That's what it's all about. See you later, buddy. Oh man, that was all right. Hey bass fanatics, Fish Den 365 here, certified bassified. Today's video is all about toad fishing. It's one of my favorite ways to fish. Anytime you're talking topwater action, you're talking a lot of fun. So there's a lot of toads out there on the market. What makes a toad versus a frog or a rat? Well, toads generally have swimming tails, so the action is imparted when you retrieve the bait, and usually the bait is in movement when it's getting bit. Not always, but most of the time. In contrast, when you're throwing a topwater frog, that's a hollow-bodied bait that's meant to sit on the surface, and you work it along and then stop, and there'll be a lot of pauses and a lot of stopping with the hollow-bodied frog, and a bass has an opportunity to come up and smash that frog. But the toad is meant to be moved along at a more rapid pace, and the tail kicking is really what's attracting the bass. So there's a number of toads that I like to fish with. There's a number of different brands on the market. One of the ones I fish with the most is the Zoom Horny toad. That's my favorite out of all of them. I'll explain why in a minute. Here's one from Jean LaRue. This is a three-legged frog. That's the name of it. It's a toad style bait. This does float at rest, but again, it has these legs that are meant for movement, but it will float. It will not sink with a regular 5/0 hook. Strike King has the Rage Shad. This is a shad type bait and a shad color. They also have the Rage Tail Toad, and that is a toad bait. The Rage baits make a lot more commotion on the water because of the design of their tail. This one is a Kitech Noisy Flapper. It's quite a bit similar to the Rage Tail type toad, and it works very well. Again, a lot of noise created by this bait. And here's one, look at the eyes on that guy. This one is a Damiki Air Frog, large profile bait. It's actually filled with a pocket of air on each side here, and so this will float too, and it's got good legs for a good topwater action. Now, why do I like the horny toad the best? In the lakes that I fish, they're mostly highly pressured lakes, and the horny toad has a subtler leg kick. These legs don't put out the same kind of noise as some of these other baits do, but the noise that this does put out is very attractive to the fish. This horny toad has been around a long time, and the profile is real nice, and the bait just fishes real well. It makes a sound on the surface that the bass really seem to like, and by far it's my favorite bait of all the ones we're talking about here. I probably fish this 90% of the time. Now, what colors do I like? Well, in the morning, I like to throw white, early morning. This is because shad are often in shallow, and this is more of a shad imitation with that white color. So I like white early in the morning. I like black at night after dark. If you put this up above your head under the sky at night, you'll notice that this silhouette shows up very, very well. And the reason for that is the night sky is really not black. It's more of a gray. And so at night, or even on dark days, black shows up very well to the fish as they look up. They can see that silhouette very well. This is called Bullfrog. It's a color that I also like to use. It has quite a bit of chartreuse on it. Sometimes the bass really like that. Most of the time though, I like green pumpkin, and I like to dip the tails in chartreuse. Watch the video and I'll show you what I do there. Check out this great topwater action and stay tuned to the end of the video so I can show you some rigging options with the Toad and also a couple of important modifications that I do that add to my fish catch. Folks, do you know what time it is? It's Toad time, baby. Got him. Toad time, I told you. It's better than tea time. It's toad time. Come on in here, Mr. Largemouth. Yes. That is what I mean by toad time. That is a fun way to fish. Just saying. It really is. Get another one, baby. Another one. Oh, he came off. That was right when the bait landed. Backlash. That's no good. Did you see that? Oh man. Oh, he messed up my toad. I ain't quite getting it. And they're little. Toad heaven back in here, folks. If you like throwing a toad, this is the spot to do it. Not all gonna be giants, but if you like that topwater bite, it's fun, it's visual. It's a blast. We're here. Get ready. Here we go, folks. Got it. Oh. Oh, that was a heck of a strike. That's why you have the 50-pound braid on there to get them out of that stuff. Nice fish. Weird. They're cool. Whew. Nice toad bass there, baby. On the toad. Get him through the weeds. There, buddy. Yes. Little guy went after it. We got him. We got him. Largemouth. Got him. Little bass. Toothy critter. Got him. Woo. That was worth the price of admission right there, folks. In the middle of the afternoon. It's about 1:30. Still can get them on the toad under the right conditions. We've had stable weather here for quite a while. And this is what you could expect with stable weather. Nice largemouth. It's very warm now for September. It's September 27th today, and we're in the high 80s today as a high. Nearly record temps, maybe record temps. We had 90 a few days ago, so I'm sure these fish are snapping. If you can figure out where they are and what they're doing, you're gonna get them. We got another one, folks. He barely took it. Must be a little one. Barely made a splash. He's a baby. He's a baby. Come on. Stop. Be still. Be still, fish. Be still. After this one. I still got him on there. Oh, those two big fish. Oh, he came right off. Right there. 4-pounder easy, maybe 5. Oh.
Right there. 4-pounder easy, maybe 5.
Wow. Wish I would have got him in to show you. He's still down here. I might be able to net him. Oh, it's crazy, man. Well, I think I know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night. Whew. I let him get down in the pads on me. I should have put a lot more pressure on him. I got 50-pound test on here, and I should have really hauled him out of there as fast as I could, but I didn't do it, and he got down in there on me, and that's the story. But at least I got to see him. But what an explosion. I don't know, he might have been off angle on camera. You might not have seen it, but it was a heck of an explosion. I'm sure you heard it. I'm throwing a green pumpkin toad, and I always like to dip the tails in chartreuse dye. Why do I do that? If you ever watch the bluegills in the water, if you watch the bluegills, especially in certain lakes, this is one of them, you'll notice that their fins and their tails glow. They have that almost an aqua or chartreuse glow to them. And I think this is imitating a bluegill, a fleeing bluegill, not really a frog or a toad. And that's why I like to do that. I use the chartreuse tails when I use the green pumpkin color. Does it make a difference? I don't know. It does to me, and confidence is everything in fishing. So that's all that really matters. If it makes you more confident, then you should do it, because when you're confident in what you're doing, you're going to catch a whole lot more fish. So when we're talking about the toad, you can see there's quite a bit of plastic that the hook has to go through in order to penetrate the fish's mouth. So, and with the horny toad, it's got this slit in the belly that helps with that. But one of the things that I like to do with my toads is I take a knife, and this makes my hook setting a lot easier. I just, where this slit begins, I start the knife right through the top of the toad, like so. And then I just saw the knife, not all the way down, but to about, maybe I leave a little more than a 1/4 inch of plastic here, because the hook is going to go through that plastic and then come on top of the toad. So just by doing that, I now have this effect, this breakthrough effect. And so when I go to set the hook, I don't have all this plastic that I have to go through, and it really makes setting the hook easier. The hook I like to use is an Owner twist lock wide gap hook made by Owner, triple strong 5/0. This hook I found to be a very good hook to use with the toad. So you can tie your line to the hook. It's got this twist keeper device on the front of the hook. You just poke it right into the nose of the frog and you twist it on. And you just twist it so that it goes all the way to the base of that hook. And then I always use my thumb as a way to tell where to penetrate the hook through the toad. So my thumb here is marking where the hook has to go through. I'll bend the toad the way I need it to go through. Very important that you get this right down the middle, right down the center of the toad. And there you have it. And then you could bury the hook point slightly if you want. Sometimes I'll bury it in one of these 2 ridges on the back. But that's it. That's how I rigged the horny toad. Now, I know how much fun it is to fish these toads. So if you don't have this type of hook, I do have another method for you. So with this method, you want to take a swivel, just a simple swivel, and run it on your fishing line, like so. Then you're going to tie your hook on, and I always use a Palomar. So this is a Gamakatsu 5/0 extra wide gap hook. So if you don't have that Owner hook available, you simply tie your Palomar knot here.
And we'll do this as fast as we can so we can get to the point. There we go. Always wet that knot. Just dipped it in some water there. There we go. Draw it tight. Okay, so, and then we'll clip that little bit of excess off there. Okay.
So now to do this, so we've got our hook, and we've got our swivel right here. So the first thing is we're going to start by putting the hook into the frog, into the toad. And I usually put it in about 1/4 inch. I bring the hook point through, and now I'm going to take that swivel and I'm going to slip it over the point of the hook, like so. And then I'm going to finish the rigging. So I'm going to bring that hook through, pull it down, use my thumb again as a guide as to where the hook should go through. I'll bring it through. There we go. And then I just draw that swivel tight to the hook and to the line. What does that do? It stops the toad from sliding down the hook, just like the keeper on the owner hook stops it from sliding. So if you don't have the owner twist lock hooks, if you don't have these, then you can just use a regular 5/0 EWG type of hook, and you can just use that swivel, and that'll lock that toad in place for you. It won't go anywhere. So either one of those works just fine. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did bringing it to you. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more videos coming. Within the next week, I'll have a different type of video for everyone to see. That'll be coming out probably within the next few days. And I look forward to bringing more videos. We're certified Bassified, and let's keep the discussion going. If you'd like to have any discussion about these type of toads, any questions, or sharing the way you like to fish them, there are other ways. These toads work very well under the water too. In fact, when you stop retrieving this toad, it has a tendency to sink and go into a circle like this, a death spiral I call it. And sometimes that works really well to catch the fish. So if you have any thoughts or ideas on how you fish the toad, I'd love to hear about them. Please share. Okay, everyone. God bless your fishing endeavors.